हेलो, हाँ, यंग थिंकर्स कॉन्क्लेव 2022, इसी में इतना ज़्यादा यंग लोग हैं इधर. इट्स ट्रूली यंग कॉन्क्लेव. आई एम वेरी हैप्पी टू बी हियर. महान सन्तोषः. मम हिंदी भाषायां वक्तुं मम सामर्थ्यं नास्ति, परन्तु संस्कृतभाषायां वक्तुं सामर्थ्यम् अस्ति. तस्मात् किञ्चित् संस्कृतभाषायाम् आङ्ग्लभाषायां मिश्रणं कृत्वा अहं भाषणं करोमि. संस्कृतं हिंदी उभयोपि सम्बन्धिन भाषा एव, तस्मात् अवगमने क्लेशः न भवेत्. अस्तु, अहं किञ्चित् अद्य भारतीयज्ञानपरम्पराणां विषये, इण्डियन् नालेड्ज् सिस्टम् विषये किञ्चित् मया वक्तव्यम् इति उक्तवन्तः. About 15 minutes I will take just to introduce. In fact, I was very passionately listening to the earlier discussion which also touched upon some of these issues. My idea today is not to actually talk to you about Indian knowledge system. Let me first start with a certain mantra, and I want to say why I wanted to start with that mantra. Can you go to the next? Okay. I will recite this mantra first. Na sadasi no sadasi tadanim nasi drajono vyoma paroyat किमावरीव कुहकस्य शर्मन्नं किमा आसीत् गहनं गभीरं न मृत्युरासीदमृतं न तर्हि न रात्र्या अन्ह आसीत् प्रकेतः आनीदवातं स्वधया तदेकं तस्मात् धान्यन्यपरकिञ्चनास. You may be wondering, why did I recite this mantra? This is a very, very famous mantra, Nasadiya Sukta. This is in the 10th mandala, I think, 10th mandala of Rigveda Samhita, which has 10,772 mantras and so on. You may be wondering, why did I recite this mantra? There was a reason why I recited this mantra, because you just go to Google and just type Nasadiya Sukta and find out for yourself. Why did I recite this mantra? You will understand. Tat kevalam mantra idi etat mantramaham ghoshyami vayam sarve chintayamah ekopi purohitah agatah kinchit religious ritual kimapi prachalati tatra mantrasya upayogah bhavati iti vayam chintayamah. We may be thinking, some Purohit has come and he has uttered some mantra and so on. While that may be true, there are 8 mantras in this sukta. The 8 mantras speculate about the origin of the universe. Genealogy, if you want to call it. And there are a lot of Westerners who are trying to actually make a sense of what is going on here. So this is what I want to bring to your attention first. So the question now is, what do you do with this mantra? I just recited 2 mantras. There are 6 more mantras are there. Now the question is, what do I do with this mantra? This is the question I want to put in front of you. क्या करना है? 8 मंत्रों से ये सूक्त में क्या करना है? What is the use of it for us? So, first of all, you may say, I do not know this mantra. I think 1/3 of Indians may not know this mantra. They do not even know that such a mantra exists. If I do not know this mantra, then I cannot do anything. I cannot put it to any use. केवल वो पुरोहित जो लोग आ रहा है वो कुछ मंत्र करके वो वापस just go back. That's all. We don't know what to do with that. Lot of us are like that. We don't even know what to do with that because we don't know. Or we may be sitting in an unknown knowledge, which may have a very potential application, which some foreigners are now trying to scratch. We don't know that. So this is the first thing that will happen with the Indian knowledge system when we don't know. Okay? Suppose if you say, I know that such a mantra exists. कुछ लोग बोलता है, नो मुझे पता हो, नासदीय सूक्त है मुझे पता हो, means I know that there is something called नासदीय सूक्ता. So what are the possibilities? I know how to chant, but I do not know what it means. 70% of people who don't chant don't know the meaning. They simply chant. This is the second category. So I don't know what to do, what it conveys. What does it mean? Very soon I will be disengaged. Because if I don't get involved, Yaska says if you try to read something without meaning, it is like carrying a lot of weight on your back without knowing what to do with that. Donkey, like a donkey. That's what Yaska said in his Nirukta Bhashya when he is talking. So we may be disengaged. Kya karna hai pata nahi. Keval reciting going on. So it will go on for some time. His son will say, what is all this? Let us abandon all this. That's what we are going through now. Or somebody will say, I know the meaning of it. Thoda main malum hai. Which a dictionary leke wo sab dekhuga. I understood. Oh, there is something about, there is neither, it's full of water, there is no day, there is no light, there is no existence, there is no non-existence. First two mantras are like that. Na asat asit tadanim, na sat asit. Sat also was not there, asat also not there. That's what the mantra starts. But I am able to relate it to something, but I cannot go too far. थोड़ा मैं मालूम है कि आगे चलने का बहुत मुश्किल है. I can't go any more. That's all. This is the second possibility. Third possibility is I am able to draw some insights for a deep introspection. किंचित संशोधन कर्तुं मम सामर्थ्यम् अस्ति, तस्मात् तत्र किम् अस्ति इति इतोपि किंचित अधिक प्रयत्नं कृत्वा I can now say I can create new applications, etc., etc. This is the state of Indian knowledge system. Because a lot of people tell me, don't talk about the past. I say without talking the past, you can't even go one step forward. First you should know what is inside. If you don't know what is inside, what are you going to do? किंचित में केमिस्ट्री में रसायन शास्त्र में कुछ PhD करना है तो I should first know what are the current body of knowledge. I am a professor of management. In strategy, we call it what is called path dependence. The path you go is a function of the path you have already walked. इतना दूर हमने आया, उसी मार्ग में थोड़ा आगे जा सकते हैं. It is not otherwise. You cannot jump from somewhere and then continue. Discontinuity हो जाता है. So first we need continuity. I want all youngsters to know, first you should dip your neck deep into Indian knowledge system. Otherwise, nowhere we will go. Nowhere we can go. You can't say all those 1,000 years back, what do we do it? You don't even know what it is. I don't even know what it is. First I should know it. That's the step one. So Indian knowledge wisdom, Indian wisdom, what are the use? I find these are all the popular use today. Some people simply abandon it. ये सब पुराना वाला है. Those 3,000 years back वो knowledge का क्या फर्क है ना चाहिए. सब छोड़ देंगे. This is what a good number of Indians think. I am not talking about foreigners. I can understand foreigners. I am talking about Indians. Abandon them. Lot of people keep it in puja. Never open it. Never open Bhagavad Gita. Every day put 2 flowers on it. Keep Ramayana and put flowers on it. That is the biggest disservice we can do to this society. I want every one of you to open and read it. You don't know what treasure is there. I teach elective courses in IIM Bangalore. 300 students take my course on Bhagavad Gita. 300 students won't come just like that unless there is some sense in it. So we don't even open. वो सब पूजा रूम में रख देंगे, रोज उसका थोड़ा पूजा करके वो सब ठीक है. Don't even open. This is the second possibility. Third is take a position without knowing what it contains. See, I will not talk about anesthesia because I don't know anesthesia. I will not talk about chemistry because I don't know chemistry. I will talk a little bit about management. 32 years I have been a professor of management. थोड़ा मालूम है, इसलिए management बारे में कुछ discussion में मैं I will take part. But all Indians have a license. Without knowing anything about Indian knowledge system, they will go to the rooftop and say, this is nonsense, this is blind belief, this is something. I want to ask them, what did you read first? Please tell me, what did you read? Will you do it in your profession? We should all ask that question to ourselves. First know what it is before we talk. I think somewhere we have given it. That dharma, that rule does not apply for Indian knowledge system, it applies for everything else. You are working in a company, you are a pharmacist, You will not talk about polymer chemistry, but you will do about IKS. This is, or there are people who glorify the past. Simply, matta parataram na anyat kinchidasi dhananjaya, mayi sarvavidam protam sutre manigana eva, there is one shloka. Then people say this is string theory. String theory is a lot of mathematics. Just because there is a common word called string, don't do that. A lot of people are doing it. Out of love they are doing it, but they are doing counter marketing. The damage is more than what they attempt. We should never do any of that. We should put our head into it. Take one chapter, read it thoroughly. You will get insights. This is a promise not I am giving, IKS is giving. You read one chapter from any of the scriptures deeply, you will get new insights. Then you talk. So हम नहीं करेंगे, वो सब नहीं करेंगे हम. These are all the possibilities. Whereas what I am telling to this group of youngsters is this is a possibility we should try. We should first get to know firsthand what is inside. We don't have to read all the scriptures. You can choose, pick and choose. Take what is something which you like, which is close to your thing, you can take and read it. And through that we can actually explore. So application के बारे में हमने कुछ बोलना है तो first we should know what is inside. We should first get a sense of what is there. Okay? I will give you 2-3 examples very quickly. Now, this IKS corpus, I have a book in which all these material are there. I am not going to get into great details. I simply put it here. IKS, you can say literary and non-literary. In literary, you can have Sanatan Dharma, other Dharma, and regional. And in non-literary, it is largely oral traditions. We have a very rich oral tradition. This is the only country in which you travel 30 kilometers on the road. The taste on your tongue will change. Because that much variety food you will get. Everything is, there is a very rich local tradition. We should all actually partake all of them. We are not trying any of those. We should actually see there is so much of variety and richness in oral tradition. So all these are there. I am not going to go into it. But I want to tell you, this book is all about this. This book has full of applications on mathematics, astronomy, engineering, watershed management, town planning, public administration, whatnot. Everything is available. Very rich repository. Most Indians don't know. In the previous discussion, there was talk about how the educational system and all that. There's plenty of material available. 200 years back, Macaulay said, we'll put it on the other side. And we are still going on that. So, depending upon our interest, we can take anything and read. Of course, in other dharmic traditions, we have the Buddhist and the Jain traditions are there. Regional traditions follow the Sanatana Dharma. But write it in the vernacular, improvise it, add a little more imagination to it. ये सब वहाँ से ले लिया, तो थोड़ा उसका improvise करके it is available. So even regional traditions are fine. And of course we have a very rich oral tradition. Art forms, health, food and life practices, folklore. बहुत ज़्यादा वो knowledge है उधर. This is called Indian knowledge system, if you really ask me. And unless we partake portions of it, don't talk about what application. That's a very empty call. Without knowing what is there, what am I going to do? I don't even know what to do. First I should know what is there. Right? Just very quickly, 3000 BC to 500 CE, I have sprinkled some text here. I just sprinkled. The idea was to tell you name anything, all those are available. Alchemy or control of mind or prosody. In prosody also has binary math in some ways if you see. You take Yamata Rajabana Salagam as a mnemonic for Pingala's Chandashastra, what you find is a De Bruyn sequence for a binary word of number 3, which 1983 somebody found. All those are actually part of the system if you care to read it very carefully. This is from 500 to 1800. Series of work on mathematics, series of work on astronomy. One after the other. The Kerala School of Mathematics, so much work. Very improvised models. Very sophisticated ways of solving indeterminate equations, Kuttaka methods and things of that kind. Who knows all this? Let us first get to know what it is, then let's talk about what to do. That is the point I want to make. I want to conclude, I'm just opening only some remarks, I want to conclude with 3 thoughts. Anyway, this book is available in which there are 14 chapters in which all these application-oriented things are available in plenty. If you're interested, you can actually buy the book and read it. It's a prescribed textbook for all engineering colleges to teach IKS from this year, I think. Now, I will only leave a few thoughts before we open up. And the thoughts are as follows. How do we go forward? Assuming we read Yat Sarvam Asmavi Kinchit Jnatam, Bharatiya Jnana Paramparayam Ye Vishayaha Santi, Tasya Kinchit Mama Parichayaha Bhut Iti Vayam Chintayamaha. Tarhi Agre Katam Gantavyam. Age wala ka marg kaisa hai? If you really ask, I'll take 3 quick examples just to show you. First of all, Indian knowledge system is to be read not for any other reason. Next 100 years is a knowledge society, let me tell you. We will be beaten to death on patent regime if you don't read Indian knowledge system. Patent is all about saying, A said, I know it today. If B said, I know it yesterday, then B should be given the patent. In simple English. Right? Now, all that we knew, we don't know. In order to fight the patent war, you need actually Indian knowledge system. I'll give you 2 examples, one bad example and one good example. If you look at a US company was awarded a patent for neem as a pesticide. We lost the game because nobody read, nobody could conclusively argue. We knew that neem, which is a day-to-day usage for us. Neem is used as a pesticide in this country, but nobody, all these chemical engineers were all reading some Western chemistry. I want, if there are chemical engineers, read Indian chemistry. If there are metallurgists, read about wood steel. Wood steel was exported in large amount from somewhere near Bangalore to Damascus blades. The entire armory was made with wood steel. As late as 1963, they could not find out what is the composition of a wood steel. They have not been able to replicate. Whereas we took 10 years to fight. Dr. Mashelkar was the Director General of CSIR at that time. We took 10 years to fight to win this case, which is turmeric as for wound healing. So the first reason why we should read IKS is we have to protect our culture. We should not lose the knowledge war. Next 100 years is knowledge war. It is not physical war. World Intellectual Property Organization, India has to take a front seat. A country which has 5,000 years of documented knowledge, how can you sit at the back seat? हमने आगे आना ही पड़ेगा. इसलिए IKS आवश्यक है हमको. जरूर आवश्यक है. We have to read deeply. You can't read, carefully, casually like this. You have to decide. If there is a doctor here, you read only on those matters. If there is a metallurgist here, read. There are material to read. There is a town planner here, read town planning. I am not asking you to read everything. Get into the depth of the expertise that you have. We will be able to fight all these wars. This is the first reason. Look at this. The left one is called magic square. Magic square, if you add all the rows, it will be 34. Add all the columns, it is 34. This diagonal is also 34. That diagonal is also 34. This is called magic square. What you see on the right is even more wonderful. This is called pan-diagonal magic square. What you should know is it is not a sheet. Imagine it like a cylinder. It's not a regular sheet. It's like a cylinder cut open like this. If you think like that, 13, 16, 4, the next number will be the fellow 1 here because it is a cylinder. Aisa hai na? So that also will be 34 now. There will be 34. You just count that number and see. 13 plus 16 is 29 plus 4 is 31, 33 plus 1 is 34. There are one Narayana Pandita in 1455. One Narayana Pandita in 1455 said, for this 4 by 4 pan-diagonal magic square, there are 355 solutions available. Only in 1923 Westerners proved it. He said it in 1455. Now, what do we do with this? Do you know what is the use of this? It has 1,000 uses. For a particular number of 34, you get 355 combinations now. So if you want to get 34 people to be put to work on 4 different kind of thing, there are 355 ways you can do it. If there is a proportion of perfumes to be mixed to get a desired effect, 355, it has a lot of applications. But without knowing it, what are we going to do? There are algorithms to construct magic square. Pan-diagonal magic square. This is much easier. That algorithms are there from 1st century BC. When Nagarjuna, who was Buddhist monk, has written the algorithm for pan-diagonal magic square. That is why we need to know, first of all, what is there. There is one Brihat Samhita, written in the 6th century CE. भारतीय देशों में पुरुष व्यक्तियों, स्त्री व्यक्तियों. Think about these two. In Brihat Samhita, there are 5 models available for ladies, 5 models available for gents. Model इत्युक्ते इसका proportion. head to length to width, head to body, upper limbs to lower limbs. I'm wondering, why can't a textile manufacturer read it first? Because they don't know. Ready-made manufacturing will become much easier if you know it. We don't know it. And when I read Samarangana Sutradhara, I found all iconography in this country uses that standard. So that is available in Brihad Samhita. Unless we read it, what do we know? We can just go up to the rooftop, take one WhatsApp and then stop these WhatsApp forwards about India. Work on it. I am tired of these WhatsApp forwards. India is great, Sanskrit is great. I know nothing about Sanskrit, but 1,000 WhatsApp a day. People sit morning 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock only WhatsApp forward. ये सब नहीं करना है. भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा अच्छा है, उसी में हमने कुछ काम करना है. Not WhatsApp forwards. Right? Right, the book that he has, we have to do something very substantially, seriously into it. That's what we should do. This is the second example. This is a third example. Arthashastra, the entire Arthashastra is on Sapta Prakriti. Sapta Prakriti. Tatra sutra is Swami Amatya Janapada Durka Kosha Danda Mitraha Sapta Prakritayaha. The entire book is organized on these 7 elements of a Kautilyan state. When I was reading it, right, I found it as a terrific application for business management. I found an equivalent for business management. Every element here I could map to every element here. I could even find out who are those people. I could find out which forms part of which Prakriti. Now, if I read Arthashastra seriously and understand what is happening, I'll be able to apply it in business management. But without reading Arthashastra, I cannot do it. So, this is what I want to say. I want to conclude by saying that IKS, what can we do with that in terms of application? There are 4 possibilities. Fight and win the emerging IPO battles. We have to read IKS because we will be beaten down to death in IPO otherwise. We all should take an oath today that I will contribute for the IPO battle to win. In my area of expertise, this is one possibility. Second possibility, identify application areas for immediate implementation. You are a metallurgist, you read only that. You are a chemistry man, read only chemistry. Somebody is biology, Vriksha Ayurveda. किमपि पठन्तु तत्र विशेष अंशाः सन्ति तत् किम् अस्ति इति वयं पश्यामः अनन्तरं पश्यामः किं करणीयम् इति. Without reading nothing will come. Third, deep studies in specialized areas leading to research. This is the next 50-year agenda. Don't think you can do something tomorrow morning. Don't waste your time like that. I think we should create a legacy and go. And our ancestors will, our people who come after that will follow it. We should have that vision now. And fourthly, visualize the new world order from IKS standpoint. In order to do it, first read IKS. Then only we know what to do with these kinds of things. All that यही मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ. IKS is केवल a tool box. उसी में स्पैनर होगा, वो स्क्रू ड्राइवर होगा, वो कटिंग प्लेयर होगा. It's only toolbox. We have to first know the toolbox, then know the problem and then take the right tool and then tighten it, loosen it. कुछ भी करना है वो करना ही पड़ेगा हमने. So I think that's the approach we should take. First understand the toolbox, then look for the problems that has to be solved, then you will know what to use. Otherwise all these are futile talk. I think with these few words I'll stop here. Dhanyavada.